Well, I was a CO. So, and I've said this on my channel, I straight up said, they don't want to eat. Who cares? But I didn't realize the gravity of the extent of the situation, the magnitude
At that
At that
instance.
instant, yeah.
at that level of being a CO, right? Because that's my little picture. I have a little right, and then the sergeant calls you and says, "Hey, go into the cell, take all their food, take all their shit." Roger that, sergeant. So you're just doing pawn work. You're doing
Yeah,
soldiers.
like the inmate doesn't eat or doesn't take their food. That's like bad for the prison or for like the warden.
So I'm glad you said that because administration hates when inmates go on hunger strikes. Like that is like
The
that is
worst.
the end of the world. That is the end of the world. And I say that because I was the PIO, the public information officer, and you got to report every day how many inmates are on hunger strike at your prison. Why are they on a hunger strike? How many days they've been on a hunger strike? What is their issue? What has been steps have been taken to resolve it? So if you guys are in prison, hunger strike tomorrow, you get what you want. Trust me. And then I have
Okay, well, don't start either, guys.
and then I have people tell me like, "Oh, why are you giving up game, Hector?" And I'm like, "Look, man, let the system fail. Let it fail. You got correctional officers still trying to hold on to something that's already been lost. Let the whole thing fail, and then we'll start brand new, right?"
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it.
So when the hunger strike, so now you gather that the purpose of the hunger strike was to get everyone out of the hole.
Out of the
Yes,
SHU,
out of the
correct.
Yeah,
SHU.
not the hole, the
The
shoe.
The
SHU.
security housing unit, and up until then, same thing that had been said by other YouTubers and other people. They were almost like mythological individuals. Like, they say the worst of the worst, monsters, puppet masters, they're controlling everything. That was the conception. So it's like, man, why would you let them out, right? Why would you let them out? You're a young CO. What's gonna happen? We're all gonna get murdered. We're all gonna like we don't. Like,
But that didn't happen.
no, that did not happen. That did not happen, right? That was what you said about the hunger strike in 2012. Then we started getting dudes that were influential. So dudes that were maybe not at the top of their pinnacle, but maybe a couple steps down, and then they would touch down. This was when I was at Centinela, 2013,
Oh, lit.
and you can tell they were older. Their CDC numbers, Charlie, Delta. Um, you
He means
You
C
told me to
numbers
tell
and D
you a
numbers.
story that I had never said before. This is a good time for that moment.
Yeah, say it.
It was 2013, right before I promoted a sergeant. We started getting those, I call them heavy hitters, like influential dudes. Now, this guy wasn't a made dude, but I was in T, I was in TTA, and this is how like mistakes happen. I mean, you're a correctional officer, mistakes happen, right?
Yeah, you're human.
So there's two tanks in the TTA, which is a clinic in Centinela, and on the right side, and we have magnets that'll say like A for A yard or B for B yard. And at that time, we had one SNY yard, which was Delta. Um, and we had a whole tank full of inmates. Apparently, they were GP on this side, and this side, I didn't realize they were SNY. I didn't realize this at this time, and I pull one of those dudes, those older guys that I'm talking about, and I bring them in, and I'm escorting them, and then I unlock the thing, and I put him in there, and then I lock the door behind. And I straight put this dude in a whole freaking tank with SNY, and I stopped, and then it dawned on me, oh shit. And I unlocked the door, and I grabbed him, right? Because I'm pretty calm. Even when shit gets crazy, I'm pretty calm. So I'm like, calm, quiet, pull him out. And he goes, hey man, what are you trying to do? Set me up. And I go, my bad, dude. My bad. But he was kind of cool with it in a way.
Because you were quick.
Oh, I was super fast, right? It was like I locked it, thought, oof.
Yeah,
because
bam.
it kind of like got silent, right?
Because those fools
They
are
were
probably
all
like,
staring at him. He was staring at them, and then they just like the sixth sense went off, like, oh, dude. And he goes, hey man, what are you trying to do? Set me up. Like, hey, dude, my bad. That was like a straight, like I right there. But then after that, it was like cool or whatever. You know what I mean? I didn't do that intentionally.
no, that's intense.
But that was around that time, 2013 ish, and then I bounced over to Donovan after that.
But
You're
in
like, I'm out of here.
but in that instance, and not in the instance of that major failure on your behalf,
Yeah.
endangering one of
Endangering
our
a dude,
legends.
yeah.
Long story short, how was the perception amongst the guards once everyone did the exodus from the SHU though? Like now that you have everyone on the yard or whatever.
So by that time, I was a sergeant at Donovan.
Yes.
And then the word was Centinela just got 11 of them. They just got a massive influx of them. They taking over, right? And not taking over, but hey, they set up shop. This is their home now. So I was like, okay, this is different. This is new. This is weird
And it's
to
safe
me.
to assume that this is on a level 4 yard.
Oh yeah, level 4
Yes.
G, level 4. They even made Bravo Yard GP. Oh, level 4. They even made Bravo Yard level 4.
And how did they like their their behaviors
So
as far as like the calm, like compared to the way everybody else
Yeah,
was?
did the yard change is what
Like,
she's
did the
saying?
yard change?
At that time, I had not been in the presence of one because I was at Donovan, but I still had connections with my friends at Centinela, and I would talk to them on the phone and ask them, how
What's
are they
it like?
What is it like? Right? Because I'm always going to be a master of my craft. So I always got to study,
Everything. Yeah.
everything, and I got to know, and I got to learn, and I got to do my homework. So they're like, oh, bro, they got an entourage. There's dudes that walk around with them, like 6 or 7. I'm like, what?
Like in the movies.
I was like, bro, they're all strapped, right? They're all carrying. Like, yeah, of course, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're all carrying. But even on a level 4, everybody's carrying something.
Yeah.
It's mandatory. And then if you want to fast forward to when I started seeing them, oh yeah, yeah. It was I was a lieutenant at this time, and
It's safe to say you were highly respectful, right?
it's weird because you watch other people, they'll bend over backwards and they'll kiss these dudes' ass. And I'm talking about like staff members.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So I'm like looking like, you ain't got to kiss their ass, man. Just be yourself. Be normal. Nothing
be
changed.
you. Be you.
Right? So I was very respectful, 100%. But then again, that didn't change from any of my other.
Yeah, you treated
Yeah,
them the
you didn't
same.
break your habits. You're just
I
being a
treated them
normal, respectful
exactly-
human being.
I'm gonna be honest. I treated them the exactly same way as I treated everybody else,
And I'm
with
sure
the
they
exception,
wanted that.
with the exception of knowing I knew they had massive influence. Massive influence.
But I'm sure they're okay with that
Well,
because
were
they
cool
want to
with
be
it.
treated
We conversed.
normal.
We conversed, and it wasn't like no weird conversing. It was just
normal.
hey man, I want to chill. I know you guys want to chill. Hey, we all want to chill. Cool. Have a good day. Later. And were they doing their thing? Yeah, they were doing whatever they were doing, but they were not bothering us.
Yeah, they're not causing chaos.
Nope. So you should see though, it's a trip because they do have that influence. They do have that entourage. They do, and that entourage goes when they go, because I've seen that too when that happened.
Say, what does that mean?
Well, in general, like if one, if one gets involved, everybody has to jump in, everybody gets involved. But if you have those guys around, you asked me what changed from before they were out of the SHU to after. The intensity.